another crap products video. I know that you guys really like these videos. They're one of my like highest viewing videos that I put out is my crap products. And so I wanted to share with you more products that I don't like and tell you why I don't like them. So you can maybe save some money. If you love these products, by all means, continue to use them. My opinion is not the end all be all. These didn't work for me for a variety of reasons, whether it is my skin type, whether it was like a wrong color for me, maybe the formula didn't work well with my skin, I had higher expectations for it. So I'm gonna share with you a bunch of products and let you know why I don't like them, and yeah, let's get into it. The first is this foundation here. This is the Smashbox Liquid Halo HD Foundation. I honestly never hear anyone talk about it, whether good or bad. I just never hear this foundation brought up. And I bought it when it kind of was fresh and new to the market. And I was really excited because I do like a luminous look to my skin. However, I find that this doesn't really give me very much coverage. It doesn't look pretty on my skin. I feel like it kind of accentuates any pores. It accentuates any texture on my skin. It never quite sets or like melts into my skin nicely. It kind of just looks like I have a bunch of heavy foundation on my skin, which is weird because it also doesn't have very good coverage. So this was a fail for me. I have the shade 3. It is an okay foundation if you want to mix it with other things, but on its own, I just have never been able to get it to work for me. I don't even find that I even reach for it. When I was kind of looking through some of my makeup products to figure out, okay, why am I not using these products? I kind of pull them out, retest them out, see if maybe I like them, and if I don't, they go into the crap products, which is why this one is here. So this one I would pass on. Again, if you love this foundation, keep using it. It just didn't work for me. It didn't meet my expectations. So this one was a fail regret purchase because it's like $40-something and it's very much like well over 3/4 of the way full. So fail for me. Let's go to the next one. The next are these STELLA water, this is in Water Blossom, and it is their watercolor blushes. I got so excited when I saw these come out, and I liked the idea of them. They're kind of like in this like bouncy cushion. They're very liquidy. This is obviously like a very bright color, but I feel like when you blend it in, one, it's like a super subtle color. Like it's very, very subtle. And it's really hard, you can't really build it up. So it's subtle, and I had a 10 on my finger. Obviously that's like a huge area that I dispersed that in. It just doesn't have very much pigmentation to it. And I find I cannot apply this over foundation because it ends up being almost like an oily, liquidy consistency that it moves all of my foundation. So usually I'd like put my foundation on, and then I would try to like put this blush on my cheeks, and it's moving my foundation. It's too oily and too liquidy that it doesn't sit well with my foundation. I've tried using a stippling brush, I've tried using my finger, I've tried using a beauty blender. The beauty blender kind of soaks it all up, and so I don't even feel like I get pigment on my skin. And it just doesn't work for me. I can't figure out a way to have it be like a really pretty flush of color. I know it's not meant to be super highly pigmented. It's supposed to be like this subtle, like flush to your cheeks. But I find that it doesn't even give me a flush to my cheeks. It just kind of gives me this like weird, slightly tinted look on my cheeks that just kind of messes up my foundation. So I find this is like far more difficult to work with than it is like a benefit to my makeup. So I don't like this. If you love it, tell me how you use it. Do you wear this more like on a no makeup day and you just kind of pop this on your cheeks? Like, how do you guys use this? Because if I want a cream liquidy blush, I really love the Makeup Forever ones. Those are probably some of my favorite. They just go on so beautifully and easily and effortlessly. These just like take way too much time, and I can't for the life of me figure out how to use this. Is this NYX Color Correcting Powder. Now I really like the NYX, the translucent one. This one is in the shade Banana. I do not like the Banana one. It looks horrendous under my eyes. It is yellow, obviously, because it's banana, which doesn't bother me because I have used some banana powders that actually are really nice. Also, like, changes whatever concealer I have under my eyes to be super yellow. It doesn't even look brightening. I definitely never would use this like when I was fair, but even when I have a self tan on and I can kind of use more banana powders, this one just gives me a super dry, oddly yellow look under my eyes. Like, it almost oxidizes a little bit because swatching it on my hand, it looks fine, like that's totally fine for under my eyes. But when it mixes with concealers, and I've tried it with a bunch, when it mixes with concealers, it almost oxidizes the powder and makes it super dark. It's just really weird. So it gets really yellowy and ugly under my eyes. So I don't like this one. The translucent one I love, but this banana one is like a massive pass for me. The next is this palette here. And it was like hard for me to put this in there because it's such a beautiful palette, but I honestly never, ever, ever reach for this because I find it such a difficult palette to work with. And it's like, okay. It's the Too Faced Sexy palette, or the, what is it called? Too Faced Return of Sexy palette. These remind me a lot of like the Lancome like little palettes. Why can't I get it open? This is like an older palette. I think it's still available, but you have these different like, what, quinces? Is that what it's called when it's 5 quints? And they're really pretty, but you have 0 matte shades. This is just all shimmers. So you can't ever use this palette on its own. So that's one thing that's bad. There's really no mattes. Even the brow bone colors have quite a bit of sheen or glitter to them. The colors are really pretty, but the thing is, I don't know what it is. They blend to nothing. So like you blend them out and you try to get them to blend, like the swatches are okay, but it's one of those formulas that when you try to blend them, they either blend to nothing or all the colors blend together and it looks really muddy. You know how, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like there's some shadows that you can blend and it just like diffuses the color so beautifully, kind of like the look I have today. I'm using the new Jouer palette. Those just blended so beautifully and I can add colors and I can blend and make them like meld together. This one, you try to blend and it just ends up looking really muddy on your eyes. I have yet to find a successful way to use this palette. I feel like every time I've used it, I end up wiping off my eye makeup because I don't like the way it looks unless I'm going to take one shadow from here and put it all over my lid. That's the only way I could do it, because if I take one of these shadows and I put it on my lid and then I go in with another palette and a more matte shadow to kind of do the outer V or whatever, I feel like it makes these colors muddy and they just kind of disappear. So any matte shadow that you bring in to correspond with this palette, I feel like the shimmer shades just kind of like poof, go away, or they end up looking really muddy and dirty. This is just a fail for me. If you love it, how do you use this palette? What do you like to pair it with? Because for me, it's hard to blend, it's hard to get a good look. I always have to have other palettes and they always end up looking mucky. So I regret buying this one. All right, the next is this $1 Billion Brows Universal Pencil. I don't know if I got a bad one or what, but it has a spoolie on one side. It's retractable on the other side. So here it is, but I'm gonna try to show you. Like, do you see what's happening here? It's like, and I'm having to push really hard to get any pigment. It is so sticky and waxy feeling and gunky. Like if I was to put this on my brows, like it feels like glue. Like it's very, very sticky. And this is the second one I've had like this and I've already broke off the tip and it's just gunky and gummy all the way through. And I can't get like, okay, let's break off some of it. Okay, I broke off a whole new chunk. And then look, like you can't get fine lines. Like if I'm like lightly pressing to try to give like little flicks, like all I'm getting is huge globs of gunk. It's just, it's horrible. I don't know, like I said, if I got a bad one, but that's the second one that I've gotten and both of them are just really gummy and sticky and there's no pigment unless you're like jamming it onto your hand, and I can't be doing that to my brows. I already have enough brow trouble. I do not need a pencil that like is going to give me even more trouble. As I was kind of cleaning through a lot of my like sparkly shadows and stuff, I came across all these Lorac 3D Lustre stuff. Now these were like a big hit back in the day. I have a couple that are still semi-usable, but they dry out. Look at, they dry out. All the liquid just evaporates out of it, which is weird because I don't store them sideways. I store them up, so it's not like they spilled. The liquid evaporates and then like you can't use them. These ones still have a little bit of liquid in them, so these ones are still usable. But how often do you go to reach for one of these that you're ever gonna use it up within a year? And I haven't had these very long. And even when you do stir them up, see all of the pigment is glued to the bottom and you can't shake them. I love the idea of this, but they've got to figure out a way to make these so you can actually use them long term because the pigment is glued to the bottom. I mean, these were really cool when they came out and I was really excited about them because it was kind of like this liquid that you can put on the back of your hand and then use your brush, and it gives you like this beautiful like metallic-y look. Like, isn't that beautiful? But if you don't use these up quickly, then good luck getting the pigment out of them. These were the two newer ones that I've had. You guys saw what happened with the Josie Maran ones of these in my last video. I recommend just buying the Touch of Soul or the STELLA ones. I would stay away from any of these that have like a liquid and then the dust that you have to mix together because they just dry out. My Josie Maran ones, the whole little like doe foot applicator is cemented into the pigment, and I can't use either of them. So these are also a massive fail, and they're not cheap. They were like $20-something a piece. The next is these concealers. This is the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. I hate this. It is so gross under my eyes. It settles into every fine line. It accentuates every wrinkle. And if I can't like draw the triangle because it accentuates all of my pores. This is the shade N123 and C123. I just don't like it. I don't like the color. I don't like the consistency. I don't like the way it looks under my eyes. It just, no bueno. Don't like it. I don't know. I don't like them. They just don't look good under my eyes. And then setting them with powder, goodbye. That's a hot mess. The Josie Maran Argan Creamy Concealer Crayon. This is in the shade Fair 1. This is useless to me. One, you can roll it all the way down and you get like this much crayon. So it breaks off all the time, which totally sucks. But this crayon is like so overly creamy that under your eyes, it just creases like crazy. It's a pretty concealer, like maybe if you were trying to like spot conceal. I don't really do that. I really only use concealer for under my eyes. This just didn't work under my eyes. It's too creamy. It settles and creases too much. And honestly, like this thing keeps breaking and I can't roll it down to only have like a little bit at a time. It's like almost too creamy that it just kind of like melts on itself. So this was a fail. Don't ever reach for it. Don't really care for it. Don't have a use for it. I'm trying to figure out, and you guys let me know if this does this to you too. You guys recommended the Nail Tech for like brittle nails because I had acrylics on for around the time that we got engaged, and then I took them off and I'm like, you know, obviously growing my nails back out. And you guys suggested the Nail Teaks. Now I tried to use this as like a base coat, and maybe that's my problem. So I applied this, and then I applied a nail polish and then my top coat, and within 2 hours half my nail polish chipped off. So I thought, oh, it must be the top coat. So I actually had the top coat in this pile, but now I'm thinking it's not the top coat, that it might be this, because I painted it 2 other times after using this as the base coat, and my nail polish chipped. So my question is, when I use this, do I need to use this and then a base coat and then a nail polish and then a top coat? Or when I use this, am I not supposed to put any nail polish on? Like, I don't know. But to me, it's like it keeps chipping off all my nail polish, no matter what brand, no matter what top coat, because I've used different brands and top coats. And I can't get my nail polish to stay on. So for me, it's kind of a fail in that way, unless I'm totally using it wrong. So I wanted to mention it because I wanted your guys' feedback on how you use this, because a lot of y'all recommended this to me. That is it for my crap products. Let me know some products that you've gotten recently or that are in your collection that are kind of crap, you don't like them, and tell me why you don't like them down in the comments below. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell, that way you're notified of any new videos, and give this video a big thumbs up. It really does help me. You guys have been doing so wonderful with the thumbs up. How would you even say that? You guys are really doing great at giving me thumbs ups. We're just gonna go with that. So thanks guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!